Greetings from Toy Robot Collections PH and welcome to another episode. And for this episode, we are going to look at GX03 Combattler. This is not actually an unboxing since I was able to purchase this toy as an already open robot. So the truth is, fellow collectors, we really do not need to spend prime money. All you need is some patience and of course some budget or allocation on the right kind of toy that you want to buy at a budget that you can afford. So for me, since I have no emotional memory from the Combattler V series, I opted to buy an already open as long as it's in a good condition GX03. And I was able to save money for this, and at the same time, so long as everything is okay and the toy is still in good condition, albeit there might be some cheap paint because of usage or the time it took for it to be bought and then displayed, of course, and then resold. So over time, of course, some of the paint jobs are actually being cheap, and it needs a good restorer to be able to restore it back to its original look. But as I've said, for me, this is okay. So this is the GX03. I can see in YouTube that there is also a DX version of Combattler V. For the GX03, if you notice, this is a robot Combattler that can actually be disassembled into its 5 different vehicles. And this is the back portion of the box. Okay, so you can see the different parts such as the battle jet, battle crusher, battle tank, battle marine, and the battlecraft. For this particular vlog, I won't be breaking it down into the distinct vehicles because I will be creating a vlog that will actually compare it to a deformed Combattler V. So stay tuned for that vlog, and in that particular vlog, they will be compared based on their parts such as the battle jet of this GX03 as compared with the battle jet of the deform. And hopefully, when I make that vlog, the mini deform is also available. I ordered for one, but it's very hard to get a hold of the mini deform version. So, in the Philippines, the Combattler V is normally mistaken for Voltes 5 since the two actually has almost the same look and feel as a robot that can actually vault out in the terms of Voltes 5 into 5 vehicles. So at first glance, it's common and it's understandable for people to mistake it for Voltes 5. Personally, I was not able to see any anime or cartoons regarding Combattler V when I was still a child. I just know that there's a Combattler V, and I knew that only when I was an adult. But so the things that I say and the things that I would be showing you in this vlog actually comes from a little bit of research from Wikipedia, the video regarding the remake of the Combattler V, which I showed a little earlier. And if you notice, even the pilots look like the pilots of Voltes 5 as well. That's the confusion. And also, some of the information that I get comes from the manual, this toy manual that comes together with Combattler V. That's why I was able to identify the names of the different vehicles and of course the weapons name as well. So once again, for this vlog, I am meant to present to you a brief history of Combattler V together with, of course, the robot version of this particular toy. So, for a brief history, Super Electromagnetic Robot Combattler V is a Japanese mecha anime television series produced by Toy Company and Nippon Sunrise and aired from 1976 to 1977. It is the first part of the robot romance trilogy of Super Robot series, and we all know that the second one, which became actually very popular here in the Philippines, is Voltes 5, and the third one is Dimos. For those two cartoons, I was fortunate enough to watch them when I was still young or as a child. Thus, the memory imprint as well as the nostalgia is quite high for those particular toys. And as I've said, super robots for me and for people who are born in the late 70s. So right now we explore the parts or the things that you can find when you buy this GX03 version. So the first part of course is the main robot. So you will see it as yeah, I just need to put this back again. So you will actually see it as a complete robot, right? Which is similar to the cartoon that we have just seen. And this is the 360 view of the robot. Okay, so again, it has this particular feet as well. And all the parts can again be disassembled so that you can have 5 parts. And once again, you might mistake it for Voltes 5, but if you look at it very close, you can actually differentiate which is Voltes 5 and which is Combattler V. So Combattler actually comes from combat and battle, and V is actually pronounced as V for victory instead of 5 as in the case of Voltes 5. So for this toy, aside from the main robot, you have also a display stand which you need to assemble and then put the different weapons that you can actually make use of for Combattler V. So, just to give you a quick preview of the different weapons, and we will try to place it also and make this pose together with the weapons. So, you have here the different weapons, and we are going to take a look at it one by one. So, aside from the weapons, common mistake that you might make is to pull this hand off. But for this version, I find out that you do not need to pull this off or you might break it. Instead, you just need to push it inside. Okay, so you push it properly, or this one is much easier to push. And then that's the time, if it's properly fitted inside, that's the time that you can connect certain hands. Actually, it only came with 2 hands or fists, which has the closed fist model. So I can put this here and actually make it like a close-fisted position or pose. So you do not pull out the hands that are actually there, no, or are that actually came with the toy. Now, if you need to make it hold certain weapons, take note that the hands that are pre-built with the toy comes with this particular, what do you call this? No, this particular thing that is actually inserted or fitted into the hole on the part of the weapon. So again, the first weapon that we are using is the Super Electromagnetic Yo-Yo. Right? So this is the yo-yo. And in the cartoons, aside from electromagnetic energy, it can actually drill against an opponent or a beast, warrior, or whatever those are actually called. So you try to insert that, I think if it's that a peg, right? So that you can actually make it hold the yo-yo. So you can actually make it pose and hold that particular weapon. Okay? So again, the things that you can see falling off, it's not, it doesn't mean that it's broken, right? So it's just normal that those things actually fall off. So again, this is the first weapon that we are showing, the Super Electromagnetic Yo-Yo. Now, aside from that, it also comes with the Twin Lancer. So this is the Lancer from the display stand. And again, there's that hole that you will insert corresponding to the peg so that it can actually hold the Lancer. Okay, so I'll try to, okay. Okay, so now you have the Lancer and of course the yo-yo, and then you can make it do action positions. Right? Action position like this. Okay, and the yo-yo. Okay, so that's the second weapon. Now for the third weapon that we are going to explore, aside from the Twin Lancer, the third one, actually, I'm trying to find about what this is called, but I couldn't even see the English version in the internet. So, for those who watch this and you know what this is called, I hope you can write it in the comment section so that the other viewers will be able to know what this is actually standing for. So, again, you do not pull out the hands, but you push it inside, and then you connect this particular piece, right, until it snaps. So for novice collectors, the important thing that you need to remember is that you don't force anything, or you do not force the toy to do something that has actual resistance, because that might damage the toy. So for example, for this, you just need to know that this one should fit inside the gap between the pre-built hands or fist, and of course this particular square here, right? So when we insert it, it should make a snapping sound, right? The snap means that it is the right fit. So let's see, or I don't know if you heard that because it's not very loud, but it means now that it's actually fit and it doesn't fall off. And this is again what you call the atomic something weapon, right? So of course it's meant to have a blast or something. Okay, and then lastly, when we remove these two, right? So again, you remove it gently so as not to break it. The last of the weapon will be the Super Electromagnetic Spin. This you can see even in the animation, right? So this is the Super. Okay, so I put this back. Okay, so again, this falls off because we are moving the hands or the shoulders, etc. So if you want it to make use of the Super Electromagnetic Spin, all you need to do is again make sure that this side will snap with the squares, right? Right, and again, just make a good fit, and you can have a good pose, right? So this is how it should go. And again, it's quite tricky because you need to make them form a triangle so as to properly insert it. So again, I guess the weapon is like a drill that when it flies, right, the robot flies or fires something, it actually will be like this and it will penetrate the body of the enemy. So again, that's the last of my demonstration, and that is the super electromagnetic spin as indicated in the manual. So I also observed that the names in the manual may not necessarily be the names that came together with inside or that are actually written in Wikipedia. So being not unable to see this when this was actually shown, I really don't know what's the proper name for that, but I'm showing you the weapons as identified in this GX03 user's manual, Soul of Shokokin. And again, the manufacturer is Bandai. So I hope you enjoyed this brief preview of the GX03, and until the next vlog, see you around, and thank you very much for watching this vlog. Good night!